So this is the area that everybody's focused on. How do I sell more? And this is an important aspect, but without these other elements in place, it makes the comfort advisor or the selling technician's job that much more difficult. Okay, let me just state that out front. A lot of HVAC business owners really focus on a very charismatic, personable comfort advisor who can easily win people over and get them to buy. And that's a really good strategy for any of us. But if you don't give him something to work with, his success will not be nearly as good as it could be. So real quick story. I had my business going. My wife had taken the family to see her mother. And when she was out, I decided I was going to buy a jacuzzi. Business was doing good. We had bought this home a couple of years prior and had a big deck out there. So I went in and reinforced everything. Went to the jacuzzi place. And I'd done my research already. I knew who I was going to buy from, and I knew what brand basically I wanted. And I go into the store. This salesman's clinging to me like a car salesman. And we're going through all of the stuff. Well, he's using his sales tactics and this, that, and the other. And I don't say anything, but I was a comfort advisor at the time. I really understood what he was doing, what he was trying to do. But I let it go. And we went through, I found the right one for our needs, my family. I had 3 children at the time, little ones. And, we wanted everybody to be able to get in there together. So we knew which one we wanted, I knew which one I wanted. I went in and I selected everything else. And the salesman was just over the top. He was absolutely convinced that I bought that product because he was so influential, that he did such a good job. And he wanted me to take pictures standing beside the jacuzzi and send it to him so he could put it in his sales book going forward and how he's making people happy. Long story short, when I went in there, I already determined I was going to do business with that organization. I'd already determined that I was going to do business with that company, and I knew basically what I wanted. And they were really the best choice in town because I'd already done my research. He almost got in the way because he was trying to use these tactics and everything else. Actually, he did a little bit. But I didn't buy because of him. I bought for deeper reasons, which is exactly what I'm talking about here. So again, 3 phases. You've got to go through your potential. This is the fundamentals. Then you've got to build strategies based off of those. Then you can come in and sell. Okay? It's not just a matter of throwing a better salesperson at your customers. You need to give the salesperson something to work with. Now let's take number 5, for example. Here we're talking about the company elements. How is it that we can assemble this organization that your customers can perceive, like I perceived that day, that this is the kind of company I want to do business with. They have the products and services that I'm going to choose. So that regardless of who you send out there, as long as they go through the steps and they understand the sales process, they tend to be more successful. Obviously, the better, more charismatic they are and everything else, that's going to work to your advantage. But persuasion its job is very early in the process. Okay? If you really want to attract a selective type of customers, imagine having a selective and powerful customer magnet that attracted 3 times the ideal customers without the need of discounts, of rebates, or promotions. What we're doing here is we're actually targeting certain characteristics, certain values in your ideal customer avatar. You can't build a strategy around that until you know what these things are. And our goal here is to make way more money and to get this system implemented as quickly as we can, okay? This is an organized structure to doing just that. But if all you want to do is jump over here to the sales step, because all I need to do is send my technician to a selling tech class, or I need to send my comfort advisor to a better sales class, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just saying that you're doing things out of sequence. You may have to do that in the short term. Don't get me wrong. All of these classes are needed. In fact, most of the ones that I'm seeing out there today are pretty good, other than when they go into this whole manipulation, trying to, that approach. But instead of trying to convince people that you're the company that they want to do business with, why don't we demonstrate it from the very get-go in every interaction, every step as they go through their customer experience only reinforces that. So that's what we're talking about here in this particular program. Your big companies, your market leaders, they figured these things out. Kind of like I did back in the day. Little here, little there. We just kind of knew instinctively what had to take place in order to get to that level. But we never had the structure like this. We never had anything this good. And so this will have one of the biggest impacts for you and your business, regardless of the economy. In fact, economic situations like inflation, like a recession, possible depression, these things are going to be even more important. Don't you forget, there's tons of investment money coming into our industry right now. These people are coming in and they're buying these companies, and they've got a lot more money than you do, and they're going to start implementing some of these things. And if you don't want to get lost as just another contractor, always being held to price, and you want to actually make margins and be able to provide benefits for your employees and time off for them as well as yourself, and be with your family and not just working overtimes and weekends and doing all those difficult things, then this part has to be addressed. It doesn't matter if you've been in business for 5 years or 55 years. A lot of us need to go through this again, recheck all of these different elements, tweak them, and watch what happens when you get all of this stuff fully implemented, and then you're going before these customers. It's magical. It's phenomenal. And that's what it's all about. So Pete Rams here, HVAC Greatness. Hope you enjoy this program. If you want to be part of this, these are workshops. Hit me up, hvacgreatness@gmail.com. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.